Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we're back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. Welcome to a Super Bowl Sunday. Time to get into a little bit of business and insurance talk. We've got Mr. Richard Tonihka over at Goosehead Insurance. His office is in Arlington, right in the heart of the Metroplex. His website, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com.
Although my office is in Arlington, I can do anything in the great state of Texas. So if you have investment properties anywhere, or you're just looking to move down to the Houston area or anywhere in Texas, let me know.
Absolutely.
But today we wanted to talk about when I'm shopping you with over 20, 25 different companies, some of the water damages that vary from carrier to carrier. And so when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about an HO3 policy. I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody except for people in the insurance industry. But an HO3 policy is basically the most popular home policy in the state of Texas. It's the one that just about everybody uses. There are different kinds of policies, just like everything else. But anyway, we're going to stay with the standard HO3 policy. There are basically four or five different kind of categories of water damage when you're looking at your house. Sudden and accidental. It's exactly what it sounds like: a pipe burst or an appliance. So your pipe burst, or your water heater bursts, or you have an appliance that just the hose bursts, something like that, where, I mean, it is a lot of water in a short amount of time, and you have damage not only to your appliance and or house. That's always covered under an HO3 policy. It's something that they're going to pay for the hose or the pipe to be repaired, and they're going to pay for the appliance and or the house to be repaired also, depending on what kind of endorsements you have within it. And it's also, when you're looking at putting in these claims, look at the dollar amount. Don't just automatically go in and say, I have damage to my house, I'm going to start a claim right now. Don't do that. I understand that you want to mitigate and you want to get as much of the money back as you possibly can. But if you don't even hit your deductible, you have a claim on your record, and you basically for nothing, because it's going to show up. Everyone's going to know that you had damage to the house. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't enough damage to get money back from the insurance company. And so now they're going to want to see proof that let's say your water heater that burst. Well, I mean, with a water heater, more likely you're going to have enough damage to put in a claim. But if you didn't, doing that claim, you're going to go in and say, okay, well, show us the proof that this has been repaired. And so talk to your agent, make sure that they know exactly what happened, make sure that you have the documentation saying that the repairs have been made, and because it's going to come up for 3 to 5 years, depending on what carrier you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. And that's important too. Like if you decide to sell the home, like
exactly
when we have buyers and we say, hey, Richard, they're looking at this property, and you run the clue report to show the claim history on it for the last 5 years, then that helps us if something was there, particularly if that house was paid off, because if there's no mortgage on it, the homeowner could have pocketed that money and not made the repairs, or made the repairs on the slight.
Or not just that. I mean, they may or may not have disclosed that the damage was done in the first place. And so if you have that clue report coming in when you're purchasing a new house, you want to know everything that's been done at that house and the damages that they've sustained and or repaired. Hopefully they repaired it, but that at least the damages that the house has sustained.
Right. Absolutely.
The sewer backup and from drains and sub pumps. That is almost never covered by your base policy. It is always something that's added as an endorsement. And a home policy covers your home. It does not cover the pipes that lead from your house to the sewer or to the main sewer. And so if you have a leak in there, that's still not going to be covered by your home insurance, because let's say you have your pipe bursts in the middle of your yard. If it doesn't damage your home in any way, you're still out of pocket all the money to dig in, repair that, and get everything taken care of. Your home insurance will not cover it.
I didn't know that. That stinks.
It does. But
Literally.
But it is called home insurance. And so if there's no damage to your actual home, it is not going to be covered.
Huh.
There's there's really no sense in even thinking about putting in a claim, because every insurance carrier is going to tell you the exact same thing. It's a maintenance issue, and you've got to take care of it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and we really need to spend one of these segments where we talk really about endorsements that people kind of don't think about, and that's exactly one of them. Because
Yes.
we would all think, well, I mean, we know it, but you would think that's covered, but no, it's not. There's a lot of things that are like that, and you don't want to wait to find out until after it happens.
Absolutely. And when I first started in the industry, unfortunately, I instructed a client to do the wrong thing, because they did. I mean, one of the years when their pipes froze in the middle of the yard, it was a little too close to the surface, and it ended up bursting. Had water. I mean, once everything settled and everything thawed enough to where you could see the water puddling, I was like, oh yes, well, let's get this taken care of. Unfortunately, that's how I found out that it wasn't covered. But it's one of those live and learn things.
It was a long time ago.
Yes. Second endorsement. This is one of the things that I always put on every house that I'm insuring. It's not covered under most policies. It's almost always added as an endorsement, is foundation coverage. And you're going to have people that come in and say, oh, well, it's limited foundation, or yes. Well, every insurance is limited because you've got policy limits. But a foundation is covered up to a percentage for certain carriers and a certain dollar amount with other carriers. But it's almost always an endorsement that you add. And what it does is, if you have a pipe that bursts in the foundation, because since most of the pipelines come in through the floor, if something happens to where it bursts in the foundation, they're going to have to jackhammer, open up your foundation, get in, repair the pipe, and then repair the foundation as well. And that's one of the things that's covered. If you do not have this endorsement, oh my goodness, the amount of money that it takes to jackhammer into your foundation to repair the pipe, and the damage that it could do down the line, because you're getting water underneath your house, which it's just
It's a mess.
Yes, and the amount of this endorsement is going to vary, but on the high side, you're looking at $50 a year, $75 a year. It's well worth it to add this. And that's all of these things. I'm not always trying to give you the best rate. It's always talking about the policy and not the rate first. Yeah. Talk about the policy first. These are the things that we add to the policy to make sure that you're covered. Is that to say that I'm not going to give you the best rate? Absolutely not. And then the fourth major carrier or type of water damage is seepage and slow leak. Never covered. It's always added as an endorsement. And it is something that it can't even be added as an endorsement with certain carriers. It's not an option. It's not something that they want to take care of or ever insure, because it's a pin leak or something that's inside the wall from damage over a long period of time that you don't see. But when it actually does come to view, oh my goodness, you're looking at replacing whole walls, whole rooms, or whatever, because of all the mold and everything, all the damage that it's done over the course of years. Mm-hmm. And most carriers are going to say that this is a maintenance issue and they're not going to cover it. And if you don't have it as an endorsement or even available within that carrier, it is worth the extra money to have this coverage.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Folks, if you haven't thought about endorsements on your homeowner's coverage, don't wait until it's too late when you find out, oh, sorry, that's not part of your coverage. That's why, look, you need to give Richard a call, talk to him about not only your homeowner coverage, but, hey, you got toys, RVs, vehicles, etc. By the way, he can bundle different companies with different types of insurance. He can put your homeowner with one, vehicles with another.
And still
Nobody
give you
else
the discounts.
Still give you the discount. And folks, nobody is going to really take the time to go through your policy like Richard is going to, and then he's going to figure out the best policy for you and the best price. But he's going to give you all the options, so there's these endorsements that you really need to discuss, and it may be in your best interest to add a couple of endorsements that maybe take your price up a little bit, but then you're protected.
Yes.
So, folks, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break. See you in a few.